All right, everybody. Breaking news continues today. Breaking news continues. We got a plane crash at the Delta airport. Should be live on everything again. Be back. Everybody get a plus plus. I know. How? We're gonna find out. I was just live covering protests around the country, so we're gonna have to tap in and see what the hell, how this happened. How the hell? Planes are just falling out of the sky these days, aren't they? Yep, this is the video. Here's like, well, it started from the beginning because I started playing it before you guys all tapped in here. So if you're just tuning in, Delta plane crash at Toronto airport. Breaking news. Just happened. Just happened. What does a plus plus mean? You're just checking in. It's just you're checking into the stream. Letting me see you, see me, see you. In the chat. That's what it's for. Plus plus, everything good. Yep. Another flight down. This time at Toronto airport. Let's get the information here. I was trying to find a scanner to, I don't know if Canada has scanners like that. Like an emergency response scanner. There's an image of it. Boy. Emergency teams respond to Delta plane landing incident, says Toronto Pearson Airport. Canada's Toronto Pearson Airport said it is aware of an incident involving a Delta airline plane that was arriving from my home state of Minnesota, from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Emergency teams are responding. All passengers and crew are accounted for. All runways have been closed at Toronto Pearson International Airport, according to the FAA. Yep, it was. It's from Minneapolis. That's what it looks like. We continue to research some of the details for you guys here. Yeah, it seemed the passengers and crew, at least according to that report, obviously we're gonna have to verify. At least 8 people are injured here. I got no death, at least reported right now. There's an image of it, a photo. Let me pause the feed so you guys can watch that really quick. Officials have not said whether there were any casualties, so we don't know yet, but so far we're aware of 8 injuries right now. At least 8 people injured. The extent of their injuries remain unclear. The plane, a Bombardier CR900, was reportedly flying from Minneapolis to Toronto and operated in a regional airline, Endeavour Air. Toronto Pearson is aware of an incident upon landing involving a Delta Airlines plane arriving from Minneapolis. Emergency teams are responding. Said he sent me a I think I'm watching it right now. Oh wow. 23-second clip. We're seeing it in this video here too. There's all the rescue crews. Here's another video.
We're in Toronto. We just landed.
Oh wow. Crashed. What the fuck?
It's upside down.
Yo.
Fire department's on site. Upside down. Everybody.
Bro. Imagine. Oh, I'm not flying. I'm done. Nope. That's a nope. Yep. We're gonna drive. I have a fuel efficient truck. It's very spacious and comfortable. Driving isn't bad. You know what? Bro, yeah, it's upside down. The plane's upside down, and that's the passengers getting out. They're literally getting out of it.
It's upside down.
What the fuck?
Fire department's on site. Upside down. Everybody. Most people appear to be okay. We're all getting off. Some smoke going on.
Yo. Yeah, well, I'm keeping that clip for the. All right, I'm keeping that clip in the background. We'll keep returning to that. This feed just ended, so this is what it looked like as of like 10 minutes ago. All passengers and crew are accounted for. Officials in Toronto are responding to a plane that flipped over on its roof while landing at Pearson Airport. All the passengers and crew are accounted for. 8 injuries. How did it? Does they have like a video of the plane coming in and landing and flipping over? How does that happen? What did the landing gear break? Hope everybody in the plane had their seatbelts on, so you gotta listen to that. I know it's cringe, and they're like, "Put your seatbelt on," and you're like, "Damn, it's uncomfortable." Yeah, until your plane lands, and then you flip upside down. How does that happen? Maybe bad runway? I don't know. Just guessing right now. We don't have the details yet. Several injured after Delta plane that departed from Minneapolis St. Paul crashes in Toronto. Toronto Pearson is aware of an incident upon landing involving a Delta airline plane arriving from Minneapolis. That's it. What's Sean Duffy doing right now? What's our new secretary doing? America deserves safe, state-of-the-art air travel. Oof. For sure. State of the art. Flying in those smaller planes are so uncomfortable too. You feel every turn. When you're in a big plane, you don't really feel the turns that much, or the landing, to be honest. But when you're in a smaller one, yeah, it's from Minneapolis to Toronto. You feel that, like you're sideways in the little plane, or the smaller ones. Those are scary. You join my Discord server. We also got we got audio feed. Nice, thank you. Toronto Fire Services. I don't know if we're gonna have the airport feed though.
Toronto Fire, 225 Drive, 1236 Birchmount Road. We have a high-rise residential building, no signs.
Yeah, we're gonna be here another.
Delta side, 225 Caps, in command, investigating where part 3.
Oh, he did mention the Delta plane there.
No, it's not for 245.
We'll keep it on in the background. You mentioned a structure fire. They're going to be hearing. You're going to be hearing other comms from Toronto emergency services, but I did hear them bring up Delta in the background.
Four 667. Destination.
Yeah, there's 8 injuries. All crew and passengers are accounted for. Okay, I'll keep that.
Go ahead. 4th floor is a sweet cooking odor.
What? Okay. Probably hold off on. That is a good scanner for Toronto, but I don't think they have like a centralized one for the plane. Here's live right now, so they're live again. This is a live feed. Plane upside down. Emergency crews responded. Still waiting for how this happened. Like what caused the plane to crash. 34 minutes ago. I'll just share it on Twitter. You guys can follow me on Twitter if you still have it. Same image that's on the YouTube video that I'm playing. Midas Touch shared it, but I just reposted it. Pretty surreal. The passengers on the plane literally getting out of the upside down plane. Boy. Being upside down is very uncomfortable too. Never been a rollover before and you're upside down? Toronto Pearson Airport is investigating. One pediatric patient is being transported to sick kids with critical injuries. One male patient in his 60s just transported to St. Michael's Hospital with critical injuries, and one patient being transported to Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center. Details of injuries remain unclear. Shortly after the crash was first reported, Peel paramedics suggested there could be as many as 9 people with injuries, including one in critical condition. Peel Regional Police also said they were responding to the scene to assist emergency crews. The airport confirmed the incident in a post on X on Monday. Several flights scheduled to depart the airport have either been delayed or canceled. Toronto Pearson is aware of an incident, and I read that to you guys on X, their official statement. Emergency teams are responding. All passengers and crew are accounted for. So we got more plane crashes. What do we got here? Breaking. Yep. Thank you, Mod Ann. I'll just use Midas Touch's video that they had reposted. We got live recovery efforts for this plane. Still trying to find any details of how this happened. Do we have like flight? Do we have the comms? Still a lot of information that we already know now. Waiting for new FAA confirms. What do we got here? FAA confirms incident with Delta 4819. It crashed while landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport in Canada around 2:45 p.m. local time on Monday, February 17th. All 80 people on board were evacuated. The Siege RJ 900 departed from Minneapolis St. Paul International. You guys just tuning in, we got an overturned plane and a plane crash at Toronto Airport. All passengers and crew have been evacuated. So far, we have 8 injuries. I'm just researching here for more stuff for you guys. Well, I got a live feed of the plane upside down right now. Here's one more time. You're just tuning in. Here's the video of the crew. Let's go full screen. And the passengers getting out of the plane.
Just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down. Fire department's on site. Upside down. Everybody, most people appear to be okay. We're all getting off. Some smoke going on. We're in Toronto.
Alright, so I was surprised his phone was able to even work there. Wild, what did I get pinged in? Okay, guys, this is Toronto International or Toronto Airport. Still waiting for more information. Statement, something. So some more details I'm finding. The airport had been experiencing weather-related delays over the past few days with heavy snowfall. So it could have been a bad runway. Again, guessing, don't know. Based on the context of the bad weather and heavy snowfall, maybe the runway wasn't cleared fully. We have 3 air ambulances and helicopters. And 2 critical care land ambulances. I wonder if... I want to go to... maybe Toronto Pearson. Oh, that's Billy Bishop Airport. Where's the other one? This one. Those are all the emergency vehicles. So there you have two airports in Toronto. This is the smaller one, Center Island. I gotta learn my Toronto geography. How long until we hire back the FAA inspectors? Musk fired the first. I don't know. I don't know. We're still waiting for further, y'all. We have a live feed of like what's happening right now, at least. We do have video. That's the good news. Information about how, why, the reason as to why this plane is upside down and why it crashed. I'm still waiting for more. What caused this plane to crash? Why is it upside down? Don't know yet. Waiting for air traffic control comms. You know, this stuff does take like a little bit to come out. You guys should know by now. Toronto's annual snowfall average is 78 inches. The FAA have no jurisdiction in Canada. We have our own domestic federal counterpart. Yeah, I wonder if how much they work together though. I mean, it's international flights back and forth. They have to communicate. Of course, Mama Cat. That would have been terrifying. How many times did it roll too? Right? You know, the passengers, thank goodness, they're all good. They're all safe. They're all okay. The crew's all okay. They're hurt. There's 8 people that have injuries, but they're not. You know, there's no death right now. I wonder how many times that plane rolled. You're in there rolling over in that thing. Looks like it rolled a couple times. Or at least enough to clip the wing off.
We just landed.
Canada has their own FAA. The info will come from the CFB. I mean, listen to how windy it is. Sounds windy as hell. Tundra. We're live on Facebook too, right? Yep. I don't know. I don't think X worked. I tried to send a feed over to X, but I don't think it worked out. Yeah. I don't know what happened. My bad. If you usually watch my streams on X, I'm sorry. I'm over here though. You should watch on YouTube or Facebook anyways. There's no chat on X. I flew Delta on these Bombardier planes twice last week. Seemed fine. So prayers for the affected. Eric H says crazy wind in Toronto right now. I can tell you for a fact it is actually very windy right now in Ontario. So we got chatters confirming and also the audible sound of the wind in the video. That is some wicked wind. Waiting for more details on the why, the how. I don't have that yet. Nobody does. Several are injured, no deaths reported as of now. Several injuries, 8 injuries, but no deaths. Toronto Airport confirms an incident occurred. Yep. So everything we're aware of now, but nothing new yet. Crazy winds. Toronto Airport. Yep. Okay. Things we know. Delta plane overturns involved in incident. The how isn't there yet, though. Nah, it's just more and more news are catching up to it now. Nothing on the reasoning yet, though. Still waiting for that. But we got a plane crash. Toronto Airport in Canada. Flight from Minneapolis. Crashed on the runway. All the passengers and crew have been evacuated from the plane. 8 people have injuries, and they've been taken to the necessary hospitals. It's a miracle. You know, as of right now, from the initial crash, nobody was had life-threatening injuries, at least as of now in the reporting. Obviously, that can change. More information comes in to the status of the passengers. If their injuries are more serious, and when they get to the hospital, then we'll find out later. But at least the actual like plane crash and being upside down, we don't have any reported deaths. Emma says, I live in Toronto and the wind is fierce and gusty today. The snow we've had in the past week is more than we've got all last year and more than we've had in several years. It's like an 80s snowstorm. Damn. We haven't been having snow much either. It's extremely cold now, though. We had we had snow, but it's not like... It's crazy. When I was a kid in Minnesota, we built like snow forts. We had a neighbor across the street, and they would build a snow fort, and we would build ours. We would throw snowballs across the street at each other. I have not seen enough snow in Minnesota for there to even build a snowman. In like the past like 5 years, we do get snow blizzards, and they come, but they come and go. It's not like we get snow and then it stays through the whole winter, like when I remember when I was a kid. The cold still exists, though. Negative 26 Fahrenheit in Minnesota today. So if you guys are just tuning in, still waiting on further details on how this happened, this is a live feed. So we are seeing the rescue crews work on this plane. Probably just like investigation stuff, making sure there's nothing's on fire. Everybody's been evacuated out of the plane, so they're not trying to preserve life anymore or anything like that. They're just trying to get the investigation ready and clean up. Materials are up to the highest standard. My guess is crosswinds. It flipped over like a piece of 4x8 sheeting, bent the wings off. I want to know if we have like a video of the plane coming in. If like the tower has a video. We don't have it yet, obviously. They're having the news move. Trying to listen to the hot mic. Sounds like they're trying to have the press move Or somebody has to move. Andrew takes the weather for the city of Montreal.
Hey, the cops in their wisdom have decided to kick all of us out.
Yep.
They're closing down the entire road.
They're closing down the runway. Well, I think we're about to lose our live stream of the rescue or the plane recovery efforts. That's a lot of snow on a runway. Man, I lived in Alaska for 4 years. We used to have to they had to de-ice. We had to sit in the plane for so long because they had to de-ice the plane and then de-ice the runway, and it's like so much more than if you live in a cold state or in the winter time. Flying to Fairbanks, Alaska, it's like pitch dark and -40 outside, -70. It just looks cold. You look outside on the plane, it just looks dead outside, like just death cold. Yep, flight was coming out of Minneapolis. We're just waiting for more. The press is moving, at least they said they have to. Let's see how long this feed stays up. Damn, that wind is crazy.
I know, eh? It'll be fun, they said.
Bring back the woke air traffic controllers. Oh, we can't have them. They're woke. You guys don't like seeing plane crashes every other week now at this point? What do you mean? It's like not even an exaggeration either. It is like a weekly event now. I had no idea I'd be covering plane crashes on this channel, so I didn't plan that. Might create a playlist. They're about to get yeeted here, I think. Yep. Damn. That was the feed we had. Yeah, more people on our stream than the actual feed itself. Crazy. All right, well, I think that's all we're gonna really get from them now. Just heard the police tell them to move, so. What do we got? Nothing new yet. Here's Delta News Hub. Delta is aware of reports of Endeavor Flight 4819 operating from Minneapolis St. Paul to Toronto Pearson International Airport is involved in an incident, working to confirm any details, and will share the most current information on news.delta.com as soon as it becomes available. Damn. So nothing on like how. There's a still image. There's a photo. Much clearer. Wing is gone. That would be so terrifying. Being upside down in a plane on the runway. And then you gotta exfil. When I was in the Army, we did rollover training, and you're in a mock Humvee, and they roll you over. And it like, I mean, you can think of it as fun, but it was not really that fun to me, because when they leave you upside down and you have all that gear on and your head is like smashed into the ceiling and you're like this upside down, it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. Hate being upside down. Nothing makes sense. Okay, we're back. We got the feeds back, but no sound. No audio. Maybe it's good without all the wind noise. Wind noise was the only thing we could really hear. The feed's still there. Oh, moments ago? Oh, no. Oh, what are you doing? Never mind. It's not live anymore. They're rerunning their old feed because they had to move. Sky News, yep. Yep. They're not out there anymore. They had to move. Steve's covering. Oh, Steve's live. Probably looking for more information too. There just isn't a whole lot of information about it yet. We can see the video and the live feed and the images, but how this happened, why this happened, still unclear. How about a great platform? What is that? I don't have any. Let me see, guys. Let me see. No, nothing from Canadian resources either. I'll leave this up for now, but this is not live, so I'm just going to keep it like this. Just while you guys have something to look at while I research this quick. This is now a replay of just moments ago. Until the camera moves. All are expected to survive. Okay, so update on the injuries. Delta flight crashes at Toronto Airport. All are expected to survive. 8 people injured, according to the police. ABC News is
many members of the traveling public. People are interested to know about the safety overall of aviation, and by and large, it remains a very safe way to travel. These incidents like this do occur, and here I think that's why you'll see such a robust investigation, which is already getting underway. We know that the plane was carrying 76 passengers from Minneapolis, 4 crew members on the way to Toronto when it crashed and flipped as it was coming in for a landing, and we still do not know why. We know what the conditions were like in snowy and icy and windy Toronto, but we do not know at this stage whether any of that may have played a role. We know that everybody was able to get out on their own. The police told us there were about 8 people who were injured, including 1 critically, but thankfully not in a life-threatening situation, and everybody was able to make it out but safely from this. And Kana, that's certainly going to be the good news from this particular incident.
Absolutely. I mean, it feels like it's just a miracle right now. And John, before we let you go, I just want to pass along, we're getting here from air traffic control. And first of all, we're learning a little bit more about what it looked like when they were coming in to land. They're talking a little bit about the wind speeds, clear to land on 23, and then you start to hear the conversation that...
Do we have ATC audio now? ABC has the ATC audio. It should be out there. Really quick, this is the update from 7 hours ago, from yesterday. Winter storm warning ends. You had a winter storm in Toronto, apparently. Following heavy snowfall earlier in the day, Environment Canada has now ended its winter storm warning for much of the southern Ontario, including Toronto, Hamilton, Oshawa, St. Catharines, and Peterborough. Sunday's storm followed Saturday's dumping, causing delays at the Toronto Pearson and major transit disruptions. So this is on the end of a major snowstorm through the weekend.
Can I pick up on something Aaron said, though, just for a minute? I think this is...
Yeah, no deaths, yeah. There's 8 injuries, but all are expected to survive through their injuries, and this is what the plane looked like. Yeah, it's upside down.
Toronto. Just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down. Fire department's on site. Upside down. Everybody... Most people appear to be okay.
When the wind is blowing like that, yeah, there's like thick snow on that runway. Looks like they're standing in. It's like snow from the wind gusts. It blows.
For more, I want to bring in Jeffrey Needles as well. He is a retired Air Force fighter pilot and air dominant systems expert. So thank you for being here with us. And look, I know that, again, this is early on in this conversation as everyone is trying to parse out how this could have possibly happened. Again, reiterating the fact that everyone made it out alive. We do have some injuries. But just from what you're seeing right now, we're talking about potential weather, wind gusts, but also there's been some conversations here
60 mile or 37 mile an hour wind
that might have tipped the plane, and there's something to be said about how fast it was going to lose the tail wing, to lose a wing, right?
Yeah, certainly, and there's some compounding factors here, right? You could have some really challenging winds on final approach, especially once you have a frontal pass like it did. We're seeing very strong, very gusty winds. That with pilots trying to fight the airplane down to the runway, maybe they got in a higher sink rate that they intended to. Perhaps there was a maintenance issue already with the landing gear, where the landing gear collapsed. Maybe that high.
Okay, so I mean, we're all still guessing. We don't know. Live updates: 1 kid, 2 adults critically injured after airplane crash. So there's some more details on those that were involved in the passengers. 1 kid, 2 adults critically injured. No, 1 child and 2 adults are critically injured after a plane crash. The incident involved the Delta Airlines plane from Minneapolis. Paramedics have said that up to 8 people are injured. Emergency teams are responding. All passengers and crew are accounted for. There's still a lot of uncertainty as to what is going on. Okay, 340. This is the latest. Spokesperson for Ornage confirmed CP24 that 1 pediatric patient is currently being transported to Toronto's Sick Kids Hospital. Joshua McNamara of Orangey. Sorry, where is that? I don't know. I'm totally saying that wrong, probably. Orangey also said 1 man in his 60s and a woman in her 60s sustained critical injuries and are being sent to 2 separate hospitals. That was as of 3:45 p.m., so about a half hour ago. That's it's the air ambulance services. Orange.
As a community are at our best at all times. So you're going to see about 2 or 3 rounds.
Orange.
What are these organizations doing immediately?
ORNGE. Okay, it's your emergency services.
Out, and it becomes clear what actually happened. Then what is that next round of activities?
Absolutely. And passing along to you, we just got an update here. 15 people have been transported to area hospitals, 2 airlifted to Toronto trauma centers, and 1 pediatric patient was transported to a children's hospital. And honestly, I'm a mother of little ones myself. That was the first place that my mind went, right? Because if you have a little one, they're on your lap with you, you're holding.
So they said it's up to 15 injured now. 15 are injured, according to ABC here.
If this plane is completely flipped over with nothing to stop it, I have a lot of fear about what that's like, especially for those parents of young ones on those planes.
Oh my goodness. And, we obviously want to highlight to everybody, you have to be strapped in.
It's orange, not orange.
Takeoff and landing.
I don't know.
You
I
clearly
tried.
want to be strapped in any time.
I pulled up the website.
There's turbulence of the airplane because you don't want to be thrown around. There's a lot of flight attendants that get injured every year just by getting knocked around the cabin. And then go one step further to this situation where the aircraft, for whatever reason, landing gear collapses on one side, or maybe just the wind tips it over and the whole airplane rolls over upside down. You have to imagine that even if everybody's strapped in, you have luggage, you have laptops, you have all manner of things that are flying projectiles around that cabin. And that can be a real danger, obviously. And that's
yeah.
We ask passengers to stow their luggage. But even still, if you have a 7...
those things can open too, and then you got luggage flying around. When the rollover training, just to bring that back up quick, because I did rollover training in a Humvee, they put shit in there. They put it's rubber just for safety, but in real life, there wouldn't be like a rubber ammo box in there, right? Or like weapons. They put a whole bunch of stuff in the Humvee and it's like flying around while you're getting spun around. But just imagine the people in the plane. And if you have like electronics out, which they tell you to put it away on landing, right? But not everybody does that. You have your phone out or whatever, and like you're flipping, and like your phone leaves your hand and it's flying in the way you're rolling over, it might hit somebody. I don't know how these I don't know if these FAA spending cuts are working out. Damn, dog, this is the same day? Is this the same day we have FAA firings? Here's where Trump's government layoffs are as firings at the FAA begin. The federal government began the process of firing several hundred employees at the FAA just weeks after a fatal collision occurred at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, as the Trump administration carries out mass layoffs. Some 5,200 probationary employees across The NIH and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are being targeted for layoffs. According to multiple outlets, of Bloomberg reporting Sunday that employees at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services at the Food and Drug Administration were also laid off. Department of Energy. Damn, thousands of employees across all government agencies are being laid off today, including the FAA. Department of Energy, as of 2,000, as many as 2,000 probationary employees at the agency were fired on Thursday. That was last week. Department of Education, some probationary employees at the agency, including those from the General Counsel's Office, Office of Special Education and Rehabilitation, and the Federal Student Aid Office, were notified of their termination. Department of Veterans Affairs, the agency announced Thursday that more than 1,000 employees were dismissed. U.S. Forest Service, more than 3,400 employees were fired Thursday. There it is. Federal Aviation Administration. Hundreds of probationary FAA employees received emails starting late on February 14th, so 3 days ago, from a non-governmental email informing them they had been fired. How does that work? How do you work for the government and then get a non-government email telling you that you're fired? You'd think it would be spam, right? Not in the Trump administration. According to Professional Aviation Safety Specialists Union President David Spiro, and one unnamed air traffic controller told the Associated Press people fired included personnel hired for FAA radar, landing, and navigational aid maintenance. Perfect. Wow. Perfect time for that. Definitely. Are we live again? Oh, we're live. New angle. They got kicked out on the other side of the fence now. Someone in chat's wondering how many people are on board. From what I could pull up, 80. But don't quote me on that yet. But when I found 80 passengers, all are accounted for. ABC reported that it was up to 50 or 15 injuries now. We'll see if so the official number right now is 8. ABC got a new number at 15. We'll see if that becomes the new number. So far, I'm not reading that anywhere else. Okay. I don't know where they got the 15. Yeah, 76 passengers and 4 crew, correct. Passengers 76, crew 4. Damn, not good.
Hey, don't stand in front of me, please. Huh? Don't stand in front of me. I am right now? Yep.
You know that's Canada, because if it was the US, they'd say, get the f out of my way. What are you doing? Get the hell up out of my camera. I'm Governor Tim Walz, governor of my state of Minnesota. I'm in touch with Delta after a flight taking off from Minneapolis, St. Paul crash landed in Toronto this afternoon. I'm grateful to the first responders and professionals. Why the hell is the president removing ATC operators? Because they're subtards. That's why. They don't know what they don't know anything. Oh, actually, you know why? Because right-wing media did a whole airlines or DEI thing last year and the year before. I remember that. And so this is like they're laying off federal aviation workers to appease the voting base. Because the FAA is woke now, I guess. Or there's like DEI in it or something. So that means we lay off all the important people so our base is happy. And here are the results. The results are in.
inside the terminal? What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Air traffic controlling is woke. Yeah.
Scott, here a lot of confusion, and your guest earlier was spot on.
What is that?
We're getting very contradictory statements from staff here, just depending on the airline. Some saying that, look, it's the winds that cause these cancellations. Initially, they're calling it delays, but then moving it to the term cancellation. We're hearing that people should go home, but others are saying, wait, hold on, you might be able to hop onto a flight later tonight. So just a lot of confusion taking place at this point. What better way to tell you what's happening here than showing you? So I'm just going to flip my camera here just so you can see. This is just,
oh boy, look at the airport.
A snippet of the massive crowds here, and nothing has moved. You've seen, Christmas Day, you've seen.
I would call it GG's. You should just call it GG's. Work with the airline, get a new flight. You're in Toronto, right? You're staying there.
And in the air,
you're there for the night.
There hasn't been any movement. You can see a lot of people just waiting around, not knowing where they're going to go, just long lineups here. So just giving you a sense of what we're seeing.
Go to the airline desk, say, hey, give me a new flight, and they will, especially for a situation like this.
I was on a flight.
They should get you lodging too.
The apron earlier today, but I was called. Our flight was deplaned for a different reason earlier this afternoon. It was a really windy day as well, and then we heard about this crash taking place. There was a flurry of activity, passengers running up to the front desks of many of these airlines asking whether their flights are still happening, and staff trying to get clarity on their own, trying to figure out what's happening, but they immediately let some passengers know. We're hearing all flights, arrivals and departures have been suspended. Initially was the term because of high winds, and then that eventually, just a few minutes later, gradually turned into because of a plane crash that obviously raised a lot of eyebrows. The stories started coming in about seeing a plane on its back here. I can't see it specifically from where I am, but obviously a lot of alarm, and now we're hearing that 3 people in critical condition, including 1 child as well. So a lot of people concerned.
So we need an update on that, about the critical condition part and what that all means.
A lot of people, as we're watching here, just learning about what transpired right now.
And Carlo, you had mentioned that it appears to be a fair amount of mixed messaging right now as they're trying to convey some information to passengers, as the airport, of course, is dealing with this critical incident on one of the runways. Curious about being in the airport when the first announcement, the initial news came out. What was the reaction as it started to trickle through different groups of passengers at the airport?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously surprise, disbelief, people wanting to double check that, checking their phones, going on social media.
Okay, so really quick, let's go over back. I got a source here, at least some more information. You guys just tuning in, we got a plane crash in Toronto, Canada. Flight, Delta flight 4819 from Minneapolis, St. Paul for Toronto Airport. Crashed on the runway. Really quick, here's the video of what that looks like. Or what it looked like with the passengers being evacuated from the plane. It's upside down right now. Crews are still working on the plane, and damn, imagine being in the extreme cold and getting blasted by water. I just realized that. It is cold and windy. That guy's that person's in a t-shirt. Oh boy, it's cold out there. I mean, you don't have time to get your stuff. You don't have time to get any of your stuff, any of your belongings. So that is what the plane looks like at this time. It's currently upside down. They're showing the video too on the news. Here's the live image on the right side. The plane's still on its back. More information, flight radar. Where'd it go now? What we know, let me see. Last altitude is at 550 feet. Last signal from the transponder. So the last altitude they saw was at 550. Runway 23 at YYZ Airport is located at approximately 560 feet, which corresponds to the final transponder altitude. Lots of ground vehicles could be spotted at the site. The red X is the position, not the final position of the aircraft. Okay. I wanted air traffic control. Here's another video. If we have the ATC audio. More of the passengers being evacuated. That would be so terrifying. Not water, it's foam. Alright, so that's another image of the plane on its back, and let me actually retweet that. Hearing 3 people now airlifted to hospitals, including a child. That is what we have. Boy. Media arriving at the airport are advised to gather outside Terminal 3. That's what we're seeing here. So we're back to this. So he's doing a static camera for a bunch of different news right now. And they'll pull up his image and then they'll talk about it. Yeah, here it comes.
We continue to follow breaking news out of Toronto. Here's a live look at Toronto's Pearson Airport, where police confirm a small commuter plane is down. The plane, a Delta Airlines flight that was flying from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Toronto. The plane is upside down, as you can see right there on the runway. Arrivals and departures have all been suspended at this time. Peel paramedics now say 15 people were injured in the incident.
Where is that in writing?
2 of them critically. One child has also been taken to Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. 2 other adults have been transported to hospital. Those 2 adults transported by air ambulance to hospitals in the Toronto area. 12 other people have been taken to hospital with what are being described as mild injuries. Fortunately, no fatalities at this time. 80 people on this flight when it came landing in Toronto and crash landed in Toronto, as we can see, forcing the plane to end up upside down. You can see the wheels there pointing in the air. The cause of the crash now under investigation. It will be led by the Transportation Safety Board, but also in coordination with the National Transportation Safety Board south of the border. Pearson Airport
NTSB
also reacting to this incident.
we got so NTSB is having a busy year so far. What we know so far, emergency teams are responding to a plane crash at Canada's Toronto Pearson Airport involving an aircraft from Delta Airlines arriving from Minneapolis, according to the report. All 80 people on board were evacuated. 3 people were taken to local hospitals with critical injuries. 8 people were... So there's the number of 15. I'm still waiting for that. Strong winds have been impacting Toronto all day. Winds are currently sustained at 32 miles an hour with gusts at 40 miles an hour in Toronto's Pearson International Airport. The incident comes less than 3 weeks after an American Airlines plane collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. Here's where the plane crash occurred. Okay. Yep. We got that. These 3 people transported from Toronto with critical injuries. Orange, the ambulance service, said in the statement it sent 3 helicopters and 2 ambulances to the crash site. Again, some more details of the injuries. 1 pediatric patient is currently being transported to Sick Kids with critical injuries. 1 male patient in his 60s being transported to St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto with critical injuries. 1 female patient in her 40s being transported to the Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center in Toronto with critical injuries. The Ontario Premier says there's no casualties. Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario: I'm relieved there are no casualties after the incident at Toronto Pearson. Provincial officials are in contact with the airport and local authorities and will provide any help that's needed. That is from Doug Ford. Delta statements investigating it. Still don't have a clue of how the plane crashed, actually. Still waiting for that. We know the plane crashed, right? We can clearly see it crashed. We need to know how. The good news is nobody died as a result of this as of now. We have 3 critical injuries, but I'm hoping that they can pull through. Still waiting for information on that. Other background contextual information. Donald Trump fired hundreds of FAA workers that specialize in radar landing and navigational maintenance. And the absolute Project 2025 government layoffs that I warned everybody about, but not a lot of people took seriously.
Get some clarity. Stay off Steve.
Probably should have. Too late now, but in hindsight.
If he's still there.
For next time, maybe. If we have one. Play the video when you. It's not. I'm not going to get into Canada's domestic. We already have enough domestic politic problems here. I'm sure he sucks, but yeah, it is pretty crazy. I'm just thankful nobody suffered death. Nobody died in this plane crash. We had the Philadelphia plane crash too. That resulted in the death of everybody on board. Same with the Washington, D.C.
Almost looks the same from our vantage point, Bakari. I can still see the emergency lights on
the Black Hawk helicopter crash that resulted in the death of everybody. Make sure you guys have hit the like, just hit the like button to help the stream get out there. In the YouTube feed and also Facebook and etc. Did X recover? No. It says I'm streaming on X, but I don't know where I'm doing that. I don't know how that's happening. I don't think I am. Nope, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know how that's working. Interesting. Oh, there's a better. Oh, this is a moments ago. They're playing old video now of the plane on its back. Should go to YouTube. Toronto plane. Oh, there's a. No, just go here. Starsky's live. Do we? Is something wrong with the audio? What's happening? I can't hear anything. You guys can't hear anything either, right? What's going on with this feed? Yeah, something's wrong with the live feed. This was 100% runway excursion. Okay. CBS is live. WCCO.
To redeploy to this crash site or not? Roger, 7105, contact departure 1288. Roger, 28, 7105. Second Mike Tango Medevac, not sure what the plan is here, just give me a second.
We got the air traffic control.
Air Canada 787 short 24 right ready.
787 unfortunately, currently the airport's closed for
Roger.
This is the ATC audio. It's finally been released.
Tower Life Flight 1 Medevac. Life Flight 1 Medevac, sorry. Yeah, we're not going to be able to continue northbound due to weather. We got permission from OCC to land north end and assist with this crash if needed. Life Flight 1 Medevac, Roger. Proceed to north end for now. You want to land Juliet and Kilo area? Hey, firm. Juliet Kilo for Life Flight 1 Medevac. Just for my essay, where's the crash? It's on runway 23, right at the threshold, right at this intersection there, 23 and 15 left. Okay, we got it in sight. Can you tell us what type of aircraft it was? Yeah, it was an RG-9. Roger.
Yeah, if we can get
the threshold of 15 left, Flight 1 Medevac.
If we can get this audio, that'd be great.
Firm, yeah, 15 left, A firm for Flight 1 Medevac. We can do that. You have to go to FBO? We're just trying to figure that out. This is kind of new ground for us.
Life Flight 1, medevac, roger. Juliet and Kilo intersection, you can land there, wind 270-24, gusting 33.
Clear land, Juliet, Kilo, Life Flight 1, medevac next.
Life Flight 1, medevac, just so you are, there's people outside walking around the aircraft there.
Yeah, we've got it. The aircraft there's upside down and burning.
Yeah, that's air traffic control audio. It just got released. They're playing it right now. Trying to find it. If we can get it, play it ourselves. We just missed it.
And burning.
Check 270-23, gusting 33.
Tower, Life Flight 1. Yeah, just air transat is pushing back there. Or sorry, is it being towed forward? So we're going to go past, and I'm not sure where they want to position, but we'll let them go past and we'll try to get in.
Okay, Life Flight 1, medevac, they're not coming out onto Juliet, so I think they're holding there. They're going to push back, so your discretion there, Juliet and Kilo.
All right, roger. We're going to Juliet Kilo. If they can push back, we're just discussing whether we can go to that site or not. It's sort of out of our purview for the initial.
Okay, no problem. Just let me know.
Will do.
And they are working on backing up now.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody survived. Injuries are a different thing, right? There are a few people have critical injuries, but everybody survived. They were all evacuated.
We just heard the audio from the air traffic control at the time of this crash. This is a live look.
I am live. Now it's showing I'm live.
Emergency crews responded to this crash involving the Delta Airlines plane that arrived Monday around 2 p.m. local time at the Toronto Pearson Airport from Minneapolis, St. Paul, ultimately landing upside down in this, as you can see, wintry condition. The FAA says all 80 people on board this flight 4819 operated by Endeavor Air were evacuated. And the Peel Regional Paramedic Services confirmed to us, CBS News, that 15 patients had been transported to the hospital.
Okay.
Out of those injuries, 1 child and 2 adults are critically injured.
Okay, so the number is at 15, not 8. So 15 people have injuries, 3 people have critical injuries.
Have been
1 child, 2 adults.
The FAA says the investigation will be led by the Transportation Safety Board of Canada. And Delta Airlines said in a statement that...
Okay, we already read the statement about the what Delta posted on X. Damn, well now we know that the air traffic control audio has been released. It should be on the internet somewhere. Let me see. Toronto ATC. Audio. There you go. Okay, let's listen to it from the beginning. This is the air traffic control audio of the Toronto airport from the Delta crash.
Tower, Endeavor 4819, I'm sorry. No, it's 23.
Endeavor 4819, Tower, wind 270-23, gust 33, clear to land on 823. You might get a slight bump in the glide path. There'll be an aircraft in front of it.
Clear to land, 23, Endeavor 4819.
We're 7105, pull up, go around.
The go around, 715.
This airplane just crashed at 23. We're 7105, pull up, go around. Mike, take him out of back, you can just stay there.
Well, here, Mike, take him out of back.
7105, stop sign 3000. 7105, when you're able, you can go right turn heading 300.
Right 300, 7105.
Our Life Flight 1 back. We're going to hold south of the airport. We're just discussing with our OTC if they need to deploy us here or not.
Flight 1 medevac, I got no traffic here, so just let me know what you'd like to do. We just had a crash on runway 23 here.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, we're just discussing with our OTC whether they want to redeploy to this crash site or not.
Roger, we're 7105.
Imagine seeing it. Hold on, sorry.
Contact departure 1288.
Departure 28, we're 7105.
Imagine this is another angle from a plane, and you just see like smoke on the run. You're thinking that plane's destroyed completely. Thinking it's destroyed completely, but it wasn't. Rolled over, and this is what it looks like.
I'm sorry. No, it's 23.
Endeavor 4819, Tower, wind 270-23, gust 33, clear to land on 823. You might get a slight bump in the glide path. There'll be an aircraft in front of it.
Clear to land, 23, Endeavor 4819. Tower, Russia 7105, off block file 23.
We're 7105.
I'm glad the engines didn't explode too, right? That could have been a problem, or maybe not. I'm not a plane expert. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But could these jet turbines have blown up
Pull up.
if something bad happened with the rollover?
Go around.
The go around 715.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm asking that out of
airplane
ignorance.
just crashed 23. 7105. Pull up. Go around.
I can look it up.
Stay there.
Toronto Tower, Endeavor.
Okay, so that is air traffic control audio with image of the plane upside down.
Flight at 7 o'clock tonight, just before 7 o'clock, that appears to be on time. And you also have 2 flights scheduled to come into MSP from Toronto today. One from Delta, supposed to land in the 4 o'clock hour. That has been canceled, according to the board. There's a second flight coming in that was delayed.
He's in
by
Minneapolis
about 2
Airport.
hours. So we're here at the airport.
That's Minneapolis St. Paul Airport.
Spokesperson with the airport, haven't heard back. Delta is referring us to their website for all updates. We're working to find people that are maybe leaving for Toronto, because you can imagine that you might have a family member of someone who was on board who might want to get to Toronto tonight, and now it looks like there is a flight for them on Delta. And we're also going to be hopefully speaking with passengers coming in from Toronto about what they saw, if they know of anything about what happened. So we will keep you updated through all of our newscasts. For now, David Schumann with WCCO News at MSP Airport.
All right, David, thank you so much. I want you to look live outside of the Toronto Pearson Airport right now. Not exactly sure what this is, but it looks, it could potentially be the tail of the plane. We know the tail was blown off, so were the wings in this incident, and so
I want to see a video of the plane coming in and rolling over.
And I haven't seen this before, and it appears as though it could be the tail of this plane. Again, I'm not exactly sure, but we did just get another statement from Delta. They say, quote, Delta Connection Flight 4819, operated by Endeavor Air, was involved in a single aircraft accident at Toronto Pearson International Airport around 3:30 Eastern on Monday, so around 2:30 our time. The flight originated from Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. Initial reports were that there were no fatalities. Several customers with injuries were transported to area hospitals. Our primary focus is taking care of those impacted. The flight was carrying a total of 80 people, 76 passengers and 4 crew. The airport was closed shortly after the incident occurred, and Delta is working to connect with customers traveling to or through the airport who should also monitor the status of their flight via the Fly Delta app. Endeavor Air is a wholly owned subsidiary of Delta Airlines that is headquartered in Minneapolis.
That AI pic? What the fuck is that? I'm not. What the fuck is that photo? God, I hate this. I hate. What was that thing?
We are continuing to get new information here.
Yes, what kind of plane was that, bro? I drew that plane when I was 5.
Looking live out at Toronto.
That's the plane I would draw. No, that was AI generated image of the plane. Motherfuckers sharing AI images.
Be the tail of
God, dude. That's gonna make misinformation so much worse.
Time, 3:30 local Toronto time. I want to show you here what it looked like from one of the passengers that was on this plane. He took this video shortly after evacuating from it. This is from John Nelson. And
yeah, it's the same. Okay, it's the same video that we're seeing. So they don't have any new information beyond it. The number has been upped from 8 to 15 in terms of injuries from the plane crash. How it happened, unclear. Still, I mean, obviously the extreme weather and conditions are a factor, but it's, you know, people want to know for sure, like how this happened for real. If it was the runway, then yep. Or if it was a deficiency in the plane, some wrong with the communication. That's what we're looking for. But the good news is all 80 people on board, 76 passengers and 4 crew, have been evacuated out of the plane, and they've been rescued out of the plane. No deaths reported yet. 3 critical injuries, 1 child and 2 adults. And they're being treated for their critical injuries. Man, bring back DEI. What the hell? Just by browsing the internet, it's looking like MAGA is very focused on Tom Hanks today. They're very upset about Tom Hanks making fun of them. Reuters reported on this. Not gonna lie, a lot of Ontarians probably aren't surprised. Why is that? Because of the cold weather? 8 people were injured when a plane. Nothing new here. Why isn't there video of it if it was in an airport? I'm waiting for it. Maybe just they can investigate first. Or maybe they just don't have cameras there. It's cold. We already know in Los Angeles, they got people, content creators, just filming the planes coming in. I don't think that it's too cold to do that in Canada. I don't think you're going to have a streamer that's one that sits outside in -3 or whatever it was at the time of the plane crash with the wind and stream planes coming in. Ideal conditions in California for that content. Definitely. Yeah, I'm getting like nothing from this plane crash on X really. except for if it's a statement. I bet you the overall community on X probably has no idea there was another plane crash because they're so busy arguing with each other. Or they're mad about Tom Hanks. X is the #1 source of news, is it?
Delta Airlines for the crash that occurred at the Toronto Lester B. Pearson International Airport. They will gather information and assess what is happening. That is from, again, that Canadian outlet right now. I'll check on any other.
Minnesota local news covering it. It's because the plane came from Minnesota, so all of my Minnesota local news stations are absolutely covering it. Here's a live feed again. Okay, I got live feedback of the the recovery efforts for the plane itself now. All individuals aboard the plane, again, have been rescued from the plane. I was a protest today. It went very well. It was too cold for me to stream. I covered the protests earlier. Did about an hour and a half of going through all the protests of the country today. It went well. At least it looked like it went well. Are you moving? Yeah, it does look like a lot of snow. That's more snow than we have here. Yeah, a lot more. This is right outside the airport. I don't know if they're moving or adjusting their camera or what. They were just looking at the tail of the plane. And then here they were just looking at that. And now they're in the road. They will never release as extensive investigations will be needed. Yeah, it's going to be an NTSB. It'll be an NTSB investigation. It'll be a federal investigation into it. So you won't find a whole lot of like super key details, just like you didn't with the DC plane crash right away. Oh, the Kamala Harris's husband was out there in New York City at the protest. Covered that a little earlier. So if you're wondering about the protest stuff, I just go to the previous stream we did. This happened breaking while I was covering the protests. General Putnam says, kudos to the Delta flight crew. This could have been a far worse crash had the captain not been on the ball. I mean, how do you come away with the crash, rollover on a runway with no deaths? Right? Especially with the amount of plane crashes and deaths we've been seeing. Had to have known some type of pilot maneuver, or in the moment was able to make the right moves while things were not going right. More news people, yeah, they're kicking them out of the runway. Yeah, it's good. Probably because it's a federal. Now it's a federal. Well, it'll be a federal investigation with the NTSB involved. We've heard that reporting a few times now. No president has had more planes crash in the first month in office than Trump. Damn, just when they wrap up one investigation, they got another one. Or just when they're like right in the middle of there you go. Just fresh off the press here from NTSB, which again is the National Transportation Safety Bureau. The NTSB is a leading team of U.S. investigators to assist the Transportation Safety Board of Canada, which I should follow them too. There's the Canadian one. How do they get a square profile picture? I want a square on X. So let's read Canada's first. So the TSB of Canada, the Transportation Safety Board, is deploying a team to investigate an aircraft accident at Toronto Lester B. Pearson. So that's probably why the press is moving. Because the feds are on their way. Canadian feds and American feds. And then the American ones, they're assisting Canada's Transportation Safety Board with their investigation of today's accident of a Delta Airlines Bombardier CRJ 900 at Toronto Pearson International Airport. Per international protocols, the International Civil Aviation Organization's Annex 13, any information about the investigation will be released by the Transportation Safety Board of Canada. So it'll be a joint effort. Got an image back up. We had to pull away from the runway. Filming through the fence now. They would bring in the NTSB because it's a U.S. flight. Yep. Came from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Bombardier. That's another look at the wing. They keep going back and forth. Put in the comments where you guys are tuned in from if you could. Just trying to do some research here quick while we're waiting for more information. Put in the chat where you're tuned in from. Harul Kingdom, good to see you. Bombardier. Or in French, Bombach. Exactly, no name. Wisconsin, Grimsby, Ontario. Pacific Northwest, Toronto, Moscow, Las Vegas, Nevada. We got Dallas, Hamilton, Ontario. We got Arizona, Ohio. Okay, Quebec's International Airport prepares to receive diversion flights from Toronto. Montreal Pierre Elliott Trudeau Airport in Quebec is preparing to receive several diversion flights due to a plane crash, as you guys can see. Our teams are already in action and welcome them. However, given the large number of passengers at YUL, please note the situation may cause delays at various points along the passenger process. As of 4:15 p.m. local time in Toronto, 237 flights have been canceled at Toronto Pearson International Airport. The aircraft is upside down and burning. Helicopter pilot describes scene after the Toronto runway crash. Medical helicopter was in the area and offered to help a Delta Airlines plane crash on a runway at Toronto Pearson International Airport on Monday, according to air traffic control audio. We got permission from the Operations Control Center to land north end and assist with this crash if needed. The pilot then asked for more details about the crash. The workers in the control tower gave specifics about the location of the crash and the type of the plane, as heard in the audio that we listened to a couple times on stream now. Air traffic control audio has been released.
Mic is on.
About to get another report. So they got a cameraman out there who just films, and then various news will use the feed, right? Like we are. Still have no fatalities reported. A friend was, you had a news friend on that plane? Some of the images.
Oh, yeah. Before everybody else. Now they're all here. Oh, yeah, everybody's here. Even observers. You can see I'm right here. I'm all set. Where's he shooting from? Where do you think he's shooting from?
They can't see us because there's nobody.
Yeah, Canadian news talking to each other in the background.
But yeah, it's a good thing. It's like, they actually listened to me. I said, hey, something going on at the airport. They're sending a whole bunch of crews smoke coming out of the airplane. And they're like, oh, we didn't know that.
That makes sense. Why when Jamie called me, she said, I'm sure you already heard this from Albert. And then I just didn't ask her, and she just told me this thing. That's what she meant then.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I guess she assumed that we were talking about it.
Because
Right?
I was trying to find out if I could actually hear the firefighters. Because they switched channels. And I had problems with, like, finding chatter.
At this point, if you take a Visegrad 24 post seriously, that's your problem. Visegrad 24 is terrible. Terrible. Bottom of the barrel news. Raven in the chat says either the landing gear gave out or wind or both. Yep, could be.
A paramedic bus that went by.
Could be. We can only really guess right now until we get an official investigation from Canada's Transportation and the NTSB. But yeah, it's probably educated guesses based on the weather conditions, the runway, obviously, the severe weather. Were all likely factors into how this happened, right? But we still don't know for sure.
So that was most likely here, maybe treating people on scene here.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah.
If there are 80 people,
Yeah, yeah. So they'll look at all of them to make sure that they're right there. No. 80.
How many sent to hospital?
2, 3.
3 in the hospital.
Oh, that's the break. I better go in there. I can sit here.
If you guys are just tuning in, this is Toronto International Airport. Had a Delta Airlines flight crash on the runway, rolled over onto its back. It's upside down. 80 on board, 76 passengers, 4 crew. All have been rescued. No deaths. 3 critical injuries.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Thanks.
1 child, 2 adults. How this happened is unclear. What we do know is the weather conditions are bad. Toronto just had a big snowstorm through the weekend, and the wind is still continuing. It was at 32 miles an hour. They're almost 40-mile-an-hour winds. But we're probably not gonna have a serious answer on this one until the Canadian feds and American feds give us the information, which that'll take a day or two. How did it end up upside down? It rolled over. Rolled over onto its back.
Yep. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I wonder if that was like a necessary maneuver to save people. I wonder if the pilot, I don't know if they just lost control completely and it's just truly a miracle. Like that nothing, this is just crazy, right? Plane's completely upside down, clearly rolled over. I don't know how many times it rolled.
Not right now, we're still 4 minutes.
We're in Toronto. Landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down.
Yeah, he didn't land it upside down in Hudson though. He landed it. We talk about the Sully, the pilot that landed the plane in the Hudson. Ironically, was a Tom Hanks was in that movie that was made about the pilot. Ironically. Yeah, it's Member Monday, but we've had breaking news today, so two breaking news. Member Monday will really continue next when I just talk about the U.S. politics and the current situation in the U.S. here. 3 Mercado Media streams today. I just think it's smarter. Maybe you guys might agree. Like if there's breaking news, we try to keep it like focused, right? Because also people want to rewatch the stream later if they missed anything important, or maybe something happened and you missed it. Probably don't want to like mash that all into like one giant long stream, right? Which I can do, but the more so that's probably better for when I'm just kind of ranting and just talking, just riffing, reacting to videos. But when it's breaking news, it's probably the best to keep it like by itself. Appreciate that, Bill's Garage. I appreciate that. Well, if you're wondering, like, if there's like the severity of it already kind of came and went, right? It was the initial crash and the rescue efforts for people.
Yeah, it's them. They're going.
There's silence. Yeah.
Still nothing new, like information wise. No changes in the number of people yet. We did have one change. It went up from 8 injuries to 15. So that was one number change. Camera zoomed out a little bit, my bad. As a live feed, Detroit Free Press is out. It's probably the same feed that... There's like 2 feeds. Oh, the other feed stopped covering it now. Oh, this is all you got, really, then. Oh, there you go. Nope. Now we're zoomed out. Damn, they really moved them far. That camera zoom does a lot of work for her, doesn't it? That's further than I thought. It made it look like they were not just on the other side of the fence. Buddy's in the parking lot on the other side of the fence, on the other side of the street.
Still got your stripe, eh? I took that off. I showed you. Who's it?
This is Detroit Free Press. They're live outside the plane crash at the airport.
Just a little, one of those little...
How long does it take to get to is Toronto and Detroit like a... Is that like a normal commute?
Exactly, completely different.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, you got something doing the quarterback.
Yeah, I still got.
How far is Detroit from Toronto?
Right here.
Oh,
It's
you're
all
like a
over the
billboard.
place. It's like the chicken pox.
No, I don't think so. Would it be? About 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Well, 30 minutes or 3... Well, wow. 30 minutes, 3 hours, or 6 hours. What is that? That's a big spread of time. A couple hours drive. Dang. Somebody else say it's 6 hours. What is that? How long does it take to get to Detroit or to Toronto? Oh, flight-wise. Okay, I'm talking about driving. Driving. I'm driving. I ain't flying anywhere. Flying is dead to me right now. Until I have to go somewhere, and I'm gonna have to I'm gonna be sweating and full of anxiety. I fly so much, but every time though, there's a moment where where you're about to take off, or pucker factors there. I tell you what, every time. It's just get lost in a movie or something and just forget about the fact I'm super high up in the air in a plane. Okay, about 4 hours. About a 4-hour drive from Detroit to Toronto.
Give it to us for free.
That's right. Yes.
It's a boring drive too. Dang, nothing cool about it?
Advertisement.
Yeah.
For this, because it's one thing in the car. I get it. It's their car.
Yeah.
But you get out of that car to go for lunch, and you've got all this CP24 and stuff all over you.
I think I'll do that. Cause
Okay.
Oh wow! Oh, we're gonna get a report. Well, it just looks cold, bro. Look at that jacket. Looks warm though.
No.
Dying?
No, it's Foco.
What do you mean? No. Play it from there. That was the best. I love when we see that. Okay, so they're getting ready to do a report out there. Yep. Everyone was using that feed. Times and Sunday Times are using that feed too. Oh, they're live out there still. WKYC Channel 3. No audio, but they're out there. Unless there's another crazy event today. And get my if something happens while I'm streaming domestic American news here and just hanging out, you're gonna have to make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I only get like 3 massive notifications a day for streaming, and we've already used 2 of them. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you're in my Discord and all my communities so you get notified. I don't know if YouTube's up the number, but it used to be just you only get 3 notifications a day for everybody. So that could be why, like back in the day, if you ever did not get notified of like YouTube stuff, because I was going live too much. I don't want to keep you guys sitting in the quiet there, but that's the only image we have right now. Further reporting expected. They're so mad about Tom Hanks. Well, we do have a live feed, but just no audio with it, so it's dead ass quiet. That's the same video, but just up and down. It's we've all seen this video hundreds of times now at this point. It's the same video. Quiet feed. Just deal with it for a second. I'm getting the next stream ready in the background. You guys are watching this. Give me a second. Also going to grab some coffee before the next stream, and then we're probably just going to hang out the rest of the day, rant and rave about America, and everything going on in America, and then game at the end of the night. But if there's any other breaking news, of course I'll be here and go live. I'm getting it scheduled. What's that now? Another angle of it? There, now you guys don't have to sit in the dead silence. Sorry. Like you're in purgatory. That looks cold. Canada has the Mexico filter. Nothing new for official numbers, though, you guys, or anything yet. Any big revelations? Andrew Cessna in Florida? What in Florida? What happened now? Is there a plane crash in Florida? I think don't those things crash often, though, actually, the Cessnas? Oh, that happened. That's old now, I guess. The pilot confirmed dead in Flagler County. Oh, Saturday crash. Damn. Yeah, confirmed dead. That was on Sunday, though. Not right now, but yep. What? Yeah. This is a live video from moments ago now. Oh, here's okay. Well, I'll play this one. It's easier to see what the plane looks like with this, but the video is like maybe 10-20 minutes old now. This is the actual live feed and what it looks like right now. But that's hard to see, and it looks like you're looking at Mars or something. So this is the most recent images of it, but it's not like live right now, this very instant. Let's do 5 o'clock news. I have time to eat and whatnot. Probably not going to be an incredibly long news stream. We'll see how long the daily rant goes for later. Because I do want to get to some Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 again. You guys already know. And of course on this stream too, the 5 o'clock one, I'll talk about the protests and just kind of review the protests and the plane crash. But not in a breaking news format. Not into breaking news, the format. Have I tried Sky News? They're showing the same thing we're looking at. They're showing the same thing. All right, you guys. That's going to conclude the breaking news, at least from here. I'll give updates on my regular news stream. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Of course, if you're just subscribed for just breaking news events, I'll see you on the next one. Whenever that may be. You know, I don't make them up out of nowhere, but when they happen, I'm here. But I hope you do stick around and tune in if you enjoy the content, you enjoy the community, you enjoy the people here. I'll be live at 5 o'clock, so about, 40 minutes from now, let me go eat. Let me go get ready for tonight. Get my caffeine and everything else I need. All right, so click that link. If not, I will redirect you guys to the 5 o'clock stream, and we're just going to talk about American domestic events and politics and Trump and the shit show that we have going on. So we'll talk about all that tonight, or in like a half hour from now. Thank you guys again. This concludes the current breaking news update in Toronto, Canada. Again, Delta Airlines flight flew from Minneapolis to Toronto International Airport. 80 passengers on board, 76 passengers, 4 crew. All were able to be evacuated from the plane. No death reported. 3 critical injuries, 1 child, 2 adults. Plane rolled over. It's on its back right now. Crews are trying to put out any remaining fire that might be inside the plane. But then federal investigations are about to begin between Canada and the United States. So that's where we're at with it. We'll have to wait for Canada's transportation investigation to give the details of how the plane crashed specifically. And also the NTSB. But we'll have that updates for you guys throughout the week. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the breaking news. I hope to see you tonight on my, again, ranting American stuff, and then gaming later on Mercado Gaming. So go and check that out as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.